Hey, welcome to the Sports Reverends podcast. My name is Dan.
And my name's Drew.
We're no experts, but we are
the Sports Reverends.
Train to Invest is one of North America's leading investment education and training corporations. Our purpose is to provide a new way for families, individuals, and communities to think about wealth management. Through teaching, training, and coaching individuals in the art and science of self-directed investing, we focus on a foundation based on capital preservation. Train to Invest offers a complete education and training experience, focusing on fundamental analysis, technical analysis, risk analysis, and developing skills for active trading. To find out more, visit our website at www.traintoinvest.com and download our free ebook to start your journey towards financial freedom. Again, that's www.train2invest.com and download our free ebook today.
Hello, everybody. We are excited for the MJ Doc Part 4, Episodes 7 and 8. It was such a good couple episodes. I was immersed in it. I want to do a shout out to all the mothers out there. I hope you guys showered your moms with gifts and love and care, and that you just appreciated them, because mothers are awesome. So let's get into it right away here. Drew, Coach, welcome, Coach. Coach is back.
What's going on, fellas?
I want to know, what was your first initial thing? What's one thing? There's so much that came out of it. One thing that stuck out to you from this whole documentary, episode 7 and 8, I mean.
Well, as a baseball fan, I've watched other documentaries about this before too, and this idea that MJ was not a good baseball player is overblown a little bit. Obviously, he struggled with the curveball like most people do, but Terry Francona said it best, I think. Give him 1,500 at bats, which would be 3 years of baseball. He thinks he would have made the majors, and he drove in 50 runs. Even though he hit 202, he was getting better. He could smash fastballs, and I think he was athletic enough, and he just, the drive to get better. I think there's no reason not to believe that he wouldn't have been in the MLB at some point. That's the thing that always stands out to me talking about Michael Jordan.
So cool. Coach!
Man, this is going way back, but I think this finals with the Sonics is my first real recollection of watching basketball with my family. Daniel was in diapers, and we huddled around the TV. I think we had a 32-inch Panasonic. And it was the first time we watched with my mom and my dad, and we just watched. It was amazing. It was it was cool looking at the footage and being like, oh, I remember this court. I remember this game. I remember these shots. It was really nostalgic to watch that and remember the family bonding time we had about that. So that's what really stuck out for me.
Sweet. The one thing that stuck out to me out of many was Jordan's relationship with his teammates, and how he was feared but yet pushed them so hard but still beloved. And I loved the part where he was talking with Steve Kerr, or Steve Kerr was talking and saying, I punched him right in the chest because I was sick of him giving it to me all practice and talking trash all practice. And Jordan came back and knocked him right in the eye. And Phil Jackson had to throw him out of practice. Throwing your all-star MVP player out of practice is pretty intense. And then it was cool to see the relationship, where Phil Jackson went to Michael Jordan and gave him a call and said, man, you're out of line here. And Michael Jordan's like, yeah, I agree. I'm going to give Steve a call. And that actually propelled their relationship to be better than it ever would be. And it also, there was a mutual respect there, because Steve Kerr wasn't going to back down. He's a competitive guy. And Michael Jordan obviously was a uber competitive guy. So to see that level, you need those teammates to be on the same level, the compete level that Jordan was on. He had to bring you there. So I thought that was really cool. It stood out to me. So let's jump into it, guys. Let's start with the first thing that kind of came up was Michael Jordan's relationship with his dad, and then seeing the way the dad passed away. I actually didn't know that there was a murder investigation behind this. I thought it was either a natural causes or like sickness that made James Jordan pass away. But Drew, what was your thoughts? Your initial thoughts on seeing that and some insight?
Yeah, it's just hard not to get emotional when you watch that. Like we were talking about, there's a lot of tears in these two episodes. But yeah, like you, Dan, I had no idea that's the way it happened. And but I love seeing the relationship between him and his dad. Like his dad was his biggest supporter, and pushed him to be better. And they talked about everything together. Even when Michael was talking about his decision to go play baseball, he said that's something his dad was saying, yeah, go do it. And he just was pushing him to be great. Yeah, I know we'll get into this, I think, a little bit, but it's also just crazy to me to think about the reports that came out about whether the murder was connected to MJ's gambling and stuff. It just blows my mind that stuff got in the papers, and like it's just such low
There's
blows.
no validity to it, too,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Yeah,
just
that's the
ridiculous.
craziest thing.
But yeah, I love seeing Michael talk about his dad and like the type of dad that he had, and you could just tell they were like best friends, and it seems like a really close-knit family, even with his mom and everything too.
Yeah.
Which is really cool to see.
Yeah, no, I think that's really cool. Even from the previous episodes, when Jordan was going through the whole gambling thing, his dad's like, "I got the interviews. Take that burden off of him, right?" So,
Yeah.
and then when in grade 9, when he was messing around, his dad said, "Okay, you want to do that? You're not going to play sports." Right? So you see that, yeah, when he was younger, he was that father figure and disciplinarian kind of deal. And as he grew up, they built a relationship. And I think a lot of men struggle with that, of building that relationship with their dad in a positive way. And this is something really cool to see, somebody who is this uber famous, ultra competitive guy still showing his dad respect and building that relationship. And like as Drew was saying, to even think that somebody would try and connect his supposed gambling with problems with his dad getting murdered by two 18-year-old kids,
Yeah.
that is just, it's so sad and heartbreaking that that's how far people are willing to go to shoot somebody down and to get their name on a headline.
Yeah, for sure.
What
I
do you
thought it
think?
was, oh yeah, I thought it was really cool to see, just to see the authenticity that he had with his love for his dad. When they were going, when he's gonna win his first championship of the second three-peat against the Sonics.
Yeah,
After he
Father's
wins, you
Day.
see him just bawling and crying and on the
Yeah.
ground, and it was on Father's Day, and um, they lost the first two games, or they lost game, what was it, 4 and 5, and Jordan didn't play well, and a lot of it, I really believe, it's probably because he had his dad on his mind. It was a time that was just very tough for him. They said in the doc that he struggled every year after during Father's Day specifically, So I think that played a huge role, because the funny part about it is Gary Payton was talking about, I wish I started covering MJ from the beginning. This series might have turned out actually differently. And then Jordan's watching that on the tablet and just bursts out laughing, and it said, no, Gary Payton had nothing on me.
Yeah,
So I
No problems
love
with the
that.
glove.
Yeah, yeah, no problems with the glove. That's right.
that's funny.
And that was good. So it was really cool to see that authenticity. Like, he's real. He's such a real guy. And I was also just, honestly, as I was watching it, I was comparing it to an NBA dad that we see today. We see a guy like LeVar Ball, who's a little bit more, it looks like he's self-seeking compared to a dad that's ready to step up, like you said, Joel, our coach, to take an interview that he doesn't want to have to do. So it's really cool to see a good dad that steps up, and hopefully Jordan learns to be like him too, and is with that with his kids, right? So
I guess he never expected to play basketball again. His dad was to him, his dad saw his last basketball game.
Right.
Yeah.
And he was pumped about that. He's like, okay, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I mean, when he comes back and then goes to the finals, he's like, man, the first 3 dad was here and now he's not. Like, and I think his mom was very poignant, and she said, Michael wouldn't let us down and feel sad about it.
Mhm.
He said, you know, dad's watching, dad's here, you know, that kind of stuff. And I think in such a family, like you have widespread. He's not the oldest, right? So when a widespread family like that,
Yeah.
hey,
I said, yeah.
yeah, to bring everybody together and just say, hey, don't be sad, because he knows how everybody's feeling.
Yeah.
I think that's a testament to how good of a person his dad actually was.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I like the comment when they show the scene of the funeral and Michael's talking about his mom, saying that we have to look at the positive side and we have to remember the good times, and he talked about how it actually brought their family closer together, even closer than they were, right? Because they had to support each other and get each other through that.
Yeah. And yeah, he went on to say, like, use that for everything in life. Anything you take negative, you got to look at the positive and look where you can turn it positive. So I thought that's
Mhm.
really good.
That's pretty biblical, too, eh?
Yeah. Good application for today, I'd say.
Yeah.
Now let's turn to a guy that just hasn't looked good during this documentary, this docu-series. And I'm not talking about Jerry Krause. I'm talking about Jordan's Robin here, Scottie Pippen. He has just, I'll let you guys dig into this first,
Oh,
but I'll just give
man.
the little background from it. The year Jordan is out doing his baseball thing, Scottie Pippen, I think it's the Eastern Conference semifinals,
Yeah.
I believe, and they're versing the Knicks, and it comes down to a game-winning shot, and Phil Jackson draws up a play for Tony Kukoc. I guess he was a rookie, right? He's a rookie who he drew up a play for the final shot, and they show these clips of Tony Kukoc being clutch all season, hitting these final second shots. And Pippen's like, no, I'm not having any of this. I'm out. He sits on the bench, doesn't go in the game, but yet the Bulls still run the same play. They win the game, and Pippen looks extra bad. All right, I'm going to toss it to Drew. Your initial thoughts. What do you think?
Well, my initial thoughts was to text you and be like, how much of a baby is Scottie Pippen?
Okay.
And like, because honestly, I could have given him the benefit of the doubt, like of being upset about the play getting drawn, but to go that extra step of just like sitting on the bench and shutting down basically, and you see his teammate, I forget who that,
Bill Cartwright.
Bill Cartwright coming alongside him, like in his ear, like I can only imagine what he was saying because we heard what he said afterwards too, and like in the playoffs, like I can almost understand it in a regular season game more than this, but you're in the playoffs.
They're down 2-0. They're down
you're
2-0.
and you're a team, and like, and we see clips of the exact same play run where Tony Kukoc hits the shot, and it almost looks the exact same, like where you don't know where the pass is going, but
Yeah.
But yeah, Scottie Pippen just looks so bad in this situation, and I especially don't like the way he responds to it in the
Oh yeah. Brutal.
like he says if he could go back, he wish it didn't happen, but then he also said if I think back, I probably wouldn't change anything. And it's like, if you wouldn't change anything, that means that you think what you did was like okay, almost like you're justified in what you did, and I just didn't like that. Bad teammate, bad all around. Like it just looks super bad.
Coach.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think there's 2 main instances that Scottie Pippen looks like a bad guy. First was him delaying his surgery for the start of the last run, and second was this story's been floating around for a long time. It's not new to me, but it's just such an egregious thing that it's not Scottie Pippen and the Chicago Bulls.
No.
It's the Chicago Bulls. And when you play it like in tennis and those individual sports, it's different. It's all on you. You get to make that decision. What happens? when you're playing a team sport, it's about the collective. It's about doing what is necessary to win. And I think we were talking before this, like we all have had experiences where we thought that it should go our way, but it didn't. But I know for a fact that none of us would have been, I'm going to sit this one out, or I'm not going to try, or I'm going to run the play wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's just no fathomable area or decision where we would make that call.
You don't think you would run the play wrong? Final second shot, the ball comes to your hands instead of making the pass, or were you doing?
But he said Scotty said that he was the one that was getting drawn up to throw in the pass.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think, and which is interesting because a lot of times we always look at the shot and whatever happens on the court, but the guy inbounding the ball is actually the most important guy.
Yeah.
True.
Right. I think that this is a very bad look for Scotty. And just to say to your point, Drew, yeah, like he's saying, yeah, I wish it didn't happen, but I wouldn't change anything. That means like you're absolutely right. You don't think you did anything wrong, and B, you're not learning from it.
Right.
And you see that when he delays his surgery. So it's just, I think it's just it shows his character, really. Like to show how prideful you are that you can't admit that you did something wrong.
Yeah. And I think Pippen throughout the whole series has had sort of like this woe is me mentality. Like he wants people to feel bad for him about his contract and about all this stuff. But I just don't buy it. Like you're seen as one of the best players in the league at that time and one of the best players of all time. Like I think he's on the top 50 list, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
And like you don't see guys on that list take this mentality. Like
no.
You see guys that are gamers
so much money. He made so much money after the Bulls.
Yeah. So I haven't found myself feeling bad for him but it's just a bad look too.
Well, I'm not defending Scottie Pippen here, but I do understand his frustration. Absolutely, he shouldn't have sat out. Absolutely, you never quit on your team. That's horrible. But to have a play not drawn up for him was pretty insulting. Like he has been in MJ's shadow, and then MJ left, and then he stepped up, brought the Bulls to a good competitive spot where they could compete for a championship still. And then they drop a play for Tony Kukoc, this guy who hasn't established his name.
We've seen from the first three-peat, like this is the way Phil Jackson dropped, like it's getting everybody the ball. Like
no, it's the first three-peat was Jordan the ball, and Jordan had to learn how to actually listen to coach. As a coach,
you have part of your job is managing egos, but main job is to win the game, right? And so as a coach, you're going to say, what is the best play or best situation that I can get whatever the outcome that I need, right? So in this scenario, let's just say Scotty's out there on the court and the play's drawn up for him. They're sending at least two guys at Scotty. And remember, the doc said Scotty was more of a facilitator than he was a scorer, which is important, right? So if you're sending two guys towards Scotty, that's going to increase the difficulty of the shot, right? So why wouldn't you use Scotty as a decoy? Why wouldn't you use and hit the Kukoc? It's about planning.
It's also about principle too, right? Like, no way Jordan's letting a play being written up for someone else. No way Kobe's letting a play being written up for someone else, right? At the end of the game,
the breadth of work is different. I would give the shot to Jordan.
But Pippen that's what he was aspiring to be, right? To take that role.
The breadth of work for Tony was huge. We saw 4 or 5 different game-winning clips in that season alone. He's not your regular rookie coming out of college. He played against grown dudes in Europe. So he's not coming in as a wide-eyed rookie saying, "Oh man, look at me."
Kyrie took the shot over LeBron.
Well, it's because LeBron passed it to him. Didn't want to take the shot.
Right? That's a whole other story.
That's a whole other story.
But I agree with you. Yeah, you're right. It's a bit disrespectful. but also
If everything changes if he misses that shot, though, is what I'm saying,
True,
right?
but-
and he's an awkward shot. It was an awkward
I
shot.
think-
It wasn't an easy shot.
But it looks even worse for Scotty if he
He
doesn't
misses
go in the
the-
game and he misses the shot.
It looks worse, you think?
Oh
absolutely.
yeah, oh yeah. If you're sitting on the bench while your team misses a game-winning shot,
Then they should have given me the ball.
the game was tied. It was going to go to overtime if they missed, though.
That's true.
I
Still,
just
I just
Do you think Phil puts him back in for overtime?
did he, Joel? You were there.
If
the
if
game
he
was
cho-
over.
no, if he didn't
They
hit
missed
that
it.
shot
Oh yeah.
and Scotty chose to sit on the bench, do you think Phil puts him back in for overtime?
No,
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think Phil's not like a angry kind of coach though. He's like super hippy dippy, right? So Pippen would be like, "All right, coach, you need me now. Let me in."
no,
No, I
no.
don't think so.
Phil is hardcore in some aspects, though.
I think he would have said, "You made your choice. Now live with
Yeah.
it."
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe. It was cool to see Bill Cartwright like have this big speech afterwards, and it was emotional. And Pippen apologized for it in the moment, and then came back and played really well. He had that iconic dunk on Ewing where he like flies and
Stepped
just
over him.
monster posters on him the next game. They end up still losing the series, but it was, yeah, it
but
was.
then both Kerr and Jordan say this story is going to follow Pippen for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Mm.
And as you see, it's going to taint so many people's opinion about Pippen now,
Yeah,
especially the younger generations, right?
for sure. I'm tainted. I thought Scotty was more of a team guy than really what he really was. Like, it's pretty crazy.
But kudos to Kukoc for hitting that shot in the first place.
Oh man,
Can you just imagine that? Like, he's like, bro, what is just happening? Like, we're supposed to win this game, and Pippen's sitting out. Like, there's just the pressure went from here to like catastrophic, and it's just like,
Yeah.
and he hits it.
And I think it goes to show like he's a really good basketball player.
Yeah, Tony Kukoc was great.
Really good.
Yeah, he was great.
So Jordan actually had a lot of solid teammates when you think about it. So, okay. Anything else on Pippen, boys? Don't be
done.
like Pippen.
Yeah, don't be
Done.
like Pippen.
Done talking
like
about
Mike.
Pippen.
I think if we should do like a wager, and if we lose, someone has to wear Pippins for a year. Can't wear the Jordan shoe.
Does he
Pippen
have his
has
own shoes?
one release of a shoe, and no one ever wanted to buy it, right? Who wants Scottie Pippins, right? So
I love that scene where Pippen shows the Air Jordan and
Jumpman, yeah. on
Yeah.
TV.
and it tells him to come back. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good.
Because
That
they
was
were
good.
losing. They had a tough year that year.
Speaking of which, that's perfect transition. It all talks about Jordan's will to win, jumping back, coming from baseball, having a baseball body, and having to work out to be back in NBA shape. It was probably not too long after Pippen shows the sole of his foot with the Jumpman logo and the finger to say, come back, come back. And then Jordan comes back wearing number 45. Drew, did you know that Jordan wore 45 for that long?
was it long? I knew he wore it for the
The season in a bit.
yeah.
I think it was like 8 games or something like that. Maybe a little longer than 8 games, but then he switches to 23 in the
So
middle
that-
of the Orlando series.
Yeah.
It's pretty epic. So, okay, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of that section of Jordan's will to win? Start
I
with you,
think-
Coach.
Yeah, I think as a leader, you have to back up what you're saying with your actions. Whether you're leading in a corporate setting, in a school setting, and a team setting. If you're going to say everybody has to do X, Y, and Z, but you're not willing to step up and do it, you're going to lose a lot of respect. You're not going to have the trust of your teammates or coworkers, whoever you're leading with, or whoever you're leading, and it's not going to work out well. I've been on basketball teams where, guys talk a lot but don't do anything. I've also been on basketball teams where guys talk and they back it up. And I think in this situation, a lot of people are like, oh, Jordan's so mean. Who cares? Your job isn't to be nice. Your job is to
Joel,
win.
Coach, you can't say that today. Okay, you
Yeah,
have to be friendly.
And I will. You can put this on record, and you can put it on a billboard behind me. Kids are soft these days, right? There's
Yeah.
who cares about a participation ribbon? Like I want to win, and if I want to win, and I'm running my sprints full speed, and somebody else isn't, well, I'm going to call them out on it. If I'm running the inbounds play correctly, we've done this 10 times, and somebody keeps screwing it up, I'm going to call them out on it. Now, would I necessarily curse them out? No, that's not necessarily my style. But I would have words and I would back it up. You have to lead by example. And I think Jordan epitomized this. And we talked about Steve Burrell off camera here. And that's the exact same thing. He talked about putting guys through war, putting guys through hard times so that when the hard times came, they were able to handle it. He talked about
I was gonna say that it comes off like Jordan's kind of being like an enforcer. But what I see from Jordan's perspective is that he actually really cares about this guy. He sees potential in him and he wants to push him to his best.
Yeah.
Get him to the level. He knows where to go and wants to get him to where that level is.
And I think he's up here, and he knows not everybody can go up here. There's just Michael Jordan level, and there's everybody else.
Well, I don't know if he knew that.
Well,
right?
maybe not.
He expected everyone to be.
He wanted to pull everybody up with him.
Yeah.
Right, and I think that's, as a leader, if you're gonna talk the talk, you have to walk the walk.
Yeah.
Now, like if you look at Duncan really wasn't a big talker, but he pulled guys up with his play. There's not necessarily one way to lead, but I think that the main concept is you have to walk the walk of whatever you're talking.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Drew, what do you think?
Yeah, like I think I think it was Bill Wennington that said, like, yeah, some people would look in and say that he's being mean or whatever, but I think us as teammates would look back on it and say, yeah, he was a really good teammate because we needed that.
Absolutely.
He gave us what we needed when we needed it. And again, leading by example is something that he did all the time. And I'm reminded of when they lost to Orlando and his trainer's like, let me know when you want to see me. And he said, I'll see you tomorrow. Right. like he knew, like most guys want to take months off or at least weeks off.
Weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's back in the gym the next day. And he wasn't going to be denied the next year.
Can you imagine a more motivated than ever Michael Jordan coming back for the second set of three rings?
And I forget, was it one of the reporters that said he came back more focused and more goal oriented, and that the only goal was to win a championship,
which is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved how he also motivated himself, even if he had to make things up, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be like a running thing throughout the internet now, of just making things up to motivate yourself. And
the LeBradford Smith, right?
Yeah. Poor kid. Poor kid.
And
good
then
game, Mike.
And then good game, Mike. That's so good. And then what Armstrong was it? BJ Armstrong, right?
Yeah.
That's really cool. Like he came out with the Charlotte team and like he had that Jordan mentality, and he won a game with it. Like that's
shouldn't
crazy.
have stared down the bench though.
Yeah, or chirped Michael or anybody. But I think at that point he knew that this was my moment. That moment's not gonna last. I probably understand that. I'm gonna cherish this moment. So I love that.
What did you think about his demeanor in training, Daniel? Like, what did you think?
I love it. I love it. I think it's a lost art. I wish that people strive for that more. I see it in Giannis, who went from this like super skinny stick now into this muscular Adonis of a man. That's what he is. He's a Greek Adonis. And I really think Giannis is like a guy who will develop. Like you already see his improvement in his 3-point shooting and his mid-range a little bit. His free throws are still real bad, but I'll like this 2-month period where he's going to get healthy and he's gonna still work out and get his shots in. He's gonna be deadly for the playoffs if the NBA returns.
Right.
And you don't see that so much anymore. And,
Well, and that's the difference you see with him and Ben Simmons, right? Like
yeah,
you
That's
don't
a
see
great point.
you don't see that will to want. Like he doesn't even try. Like
yeah,
how many attempts at shots does he take? Like
Yeah. I
but
mean, another good
I-
example is Markel Fultz,
yeah.
yeah. See,
right?
I don't know how much of it is like a will. I know Jordan had this level that was higher than probably most people of like physically getting there and like getting your body right and all that stuff. But the mental part of it, like I think that's what holds Ben Simmons back.
Well,
right?
that's what I'm saying. Ben Simmons has all the tools in the world to
Exactly.
be the best player in the league.
Yeah.
Like
One of the best. He could be
Yeah.
one of the best of all time, right?
Yeah.
With his skill set.
He's a big dude, and like you get $70 million, you figure, okay, I'm gonna put up 1,000 shots every day to get something of a jumper. Doesn't have to be great.
Well,
no,
like that's
it just has to be a threat. So
Yeah,
because you see defenses just sag on him now,
yeah.
right?
so easy to play defense.
It's just I think it's a confidence thing though. They said Shaquille O'Neal in practice he'd be able to hit so many free throws in a row. He said that Shaq quoted this saying that he's hit 100 free throws in a row in practice. But when it gets to the game, it's a whole different level.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, but that's also different too now. Like you're supposed to be the guy in Philadelphia,
Yeah.
right? And there's no improvement whatsoever. If there's
Sure.
incremental improvement, fine, sure, I'm all about that. But there's none. He's played the exact same way for the last 4 years. Look at Siakam,
True.
right?
True. That's a huge point.
Right? He's put in work. He's even though his jumper looks funky, and the dude looks like he doesn't know how to play basketball on the court. He gets to his spots.
Whoa.
He's all arms and stuff. Come on, he's not elegant.
Okay.
Well, we saw that with DeRozan too. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
he developed his shot over time. Like
Yeah.
it takes commitment. It takes getting in the gym.
Got to
and-
put in the work.
Yeah, and I think Michael Jordan modeled that
Yeah.
the best that we've ever seen.
Oh yeah, 100%. So yeah, at that end, like for sure, I think that's a lost art. People need to bring that back. Hunger for that more. I will side note here. There is a sports science of having no fans around, like that plays a huge factor in your shooting, right? So what will this look like if we get the NBA back? There's no fans in the stands. Will people's free throw percentage go up? Will their shooting levels stay
That's
the same?
a good point.
Right?
That's a good
Like,
point.
how does that affect? Does that lead to an asterisk beside their championship because of this?
No. I think you have to factor out. You also have to factor in the rust too, right? Coming off a layoff. You know what I mean?
How much rest is there really going to be, right? Like,
Well, apparently there's tons of guys who don't have access to hoops.
wow.
Jimmy Butler bought all his teammates hoops because they didn't have them.
Well, it doesn't make any sense. Like, what, they can't afford $300?
No, it's probably do you know what it probably is? They can go to the gym anytime they want. Right? So they don't need to have a hoop in their backyard. So they'll just go to the gym, open it up, and they'll play. Do what they need to do.
I don't know. Just doesn't make any sense to me.
And most guys live in apartments and condos, right?
Why do you say that?
Because if you're living in the city, you're not gonna commute. Not like Kobe, but like you're
What
not gonna
city?
like New York,
Only
LA.
New York and some of LA.
Milwaukee. You're living in the city. You're not living.
Yeah, but you can buy a house there.
Not in downtowns.
Yes.
No, I'm gonna disagree with you on that one.
Trust me.
Oh, because
I've been to Wisconsin. There's not a lot there.
But Milwaukee is a city. It's not just farmland.
I know. I'm just saying there's houses. They can buy houses. I'm probably sure most of them live in houses there.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Anyways.
All right, fancy TO. Let's go.
Yeah.
Road trip.
I'm big time, you know. Anyways, let's move to the pickup games in that when MJ brought all the boys in to do pickup games when he's filming Space Jam. And it's pretty cool to see Reggie Miller's comments, eh? Reggie Miller was talking about how filmed all day, got his workout in, did a 3-hour pickup game, then did a workout after that, then got up early. And
Can I start with this?
Yes.
I think this is absolutely the smartest move by MJ that he could have done. Because they said in the doc, he looked at all of them, he watched how they played, he looked at their weaknesses, and they did a scouting report on them.
Yeah.
I've never filmed anything, and I can't imagine that he had tons to do during the day. There's obviously points where, he had to do his CGI stuff, whatever, right? But
Space Jam very good at learning his lines, okay?
Yeah. Space Jam isn't a very long movie or a very complicated movie.
Yeah.
And he was mostly working on like just to have if you could have all of your quote unquote enemies come play basketball with you, and you learn, because he's been out for a while, right? There's new guys he's never seen before and stuff. I think it was just the absolute smartest way to destroy everybody.
Yeah.
I think, and that's what really stood out to me. Not the whole energy thing, because you saw in '92 when he went to Barcelona, the dude didn't sleep all Olympics.
True.
He's kind of been like that all the way through, but like to be just saying, okay, this is you, this is you, this is you. Whew. Brains.
Smart.
Just smart.
What do you think, Drew?
Yeah, I thought it was super cool. Like, even like his request from Warner Brothers was like, don't even worry about it. Like, we'll build you this facility. And it was like awesome. So cool. And I thought it was just cool, like seeing if you look down the sidelines, like everyone's like just there watching. Like, I'm sure the crew from the movie like loved coming in and watching these games, and
that'd be unreal.
So cool. It's just awesome. And the amount of work that would go into that movie, like, you don't really think about it because like it's an older movie and it's just like a cartoon, whatever. But like the amount of work that would have gone into that and the commitment that went into it was unreal.
It's too bad that we filmed the games.
Yeah.
I think
that'd be legendary for sure.
What did you think, Daniel?
Yeah, I thought it was really cool that they built him a whole court, and that all the guys just found it like the highest compete level ever, right? Like, I don't know how they can play the game without like a ref though. Like, it was so physical, and like, how do you?
But these are all like you're not gonna call like cheap fouls. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And then if you call a foul, then you're soft.
Yeah, you have your reputation to protect.
Reggie Miller looks like a guy that's going to call fouls, though.
I was just going to say that.
Okay. And, like, it's not like LCS alumni ball here where he's got these little kids. Oh, you fouled me. It's like, no, bro. That's just not how this is going to work.
Me and Drew don't get invited to that.
Yeah, I don't. I haven't.
I don't live there, so that's fair, but Drew does. So.
Drew's outside the perimeter, so it doesn't count.
Well,
talk to Manny.
That's how I played basketball outside the perimeter anyways.
That is true. That is true.
There you go.
From Bubs, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The corner.
We can just take all those guys. We each take one from each year. There's always one of them, right? There's Bubs, there's Drew, Jared Clausen or something. I don't know.
Yeah. There's always somebody.
There's always someone.
Dazzle.
Oh,
yeah, Dazzle. If you're listening, Dazzle, that's definitely you.
Shout out to Dazzle. Mike Miller. Or Dario Saric. I don't know.
I like the Mike Miller one better.
All right, guys, let's finish up with some Jerry Krause talk. Oh, wait, time out. Before that, are you guys going to watch Space Jam 2 featuring Mr. LeBron?
Pass.
You're not even going to watch it?
No.
Hard pass.
If you buy me a ticket, sure. But I'm not spending money to watch that movie.
I'm just assuming I'm waiting till it comes out on Netflix or something.
Yeah, if it's on Netflix, I might watch it. Definitely not spending money to go watch it.
Like, because I heard there's some pretty cool NBA players that are going to be in it. Dame Dalla, Steph Curry.
Doesn't appeal to me.
I see Steph Curry all the time.
That's true. Okay, fine. You guys don't watch it.
Here's the thing. If LeBron made a movie that was his own, okay, maybe. But Space Jam 2, no, you can't. There's no way.
Okay. Also, everyone and their dog is now also making documentaries, from Dwayne Wade to everybody else. Are you going to be excited to watch those kind of documentaries?
Kobe's, I am.
Definitely Kobe's. I am too.
Yeah. Dwayne Wade's, don't care.
LeBron's,
No.
Don't care.
the Redeem Team.
Yeah, but I like Olympic basketball. Yeah, I'm down for that.
Okay. All right, let's finish off with Mr. Jerry Krause. You guys wanted to talk about him, so I'll give that to you.
No, I think we specifically said no. We didn't want to talk about him.
One thing I'll say. The only thing I'll say, and we can end. This is the last we can talk about Jerry Krause for today. It's unfortunate that he passed away, because I would love to have heard the spin he would have tried to toss on how he portrayed this team. Because literally, he blew it up. He blew it up because from what we were seeing on the clips, he was just so arrogant that if he just said to Phil, you know what, I'm sorry, here's a 3-year deal, Jordan stays.
Yeah.
They win 6 championships in that 6.
He, like, you hear him say it over and over again. He, like, emphasizing the organization over the players. Like, I was sitting here thinking, like, without the players, your organization is terrible. Like the Bulls up till that point were known as like one of the laughing stocks of the league. And since Jordan's left, they've gone back to being the laughing stock of the league.
Exactly.
Other than like 1 year with Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
How many GMs have actually won rings? Not that many.
Not many. No. Definitely not many. It's interesting to say, like, how many like GMs and presidents and like the background guys, how many of them do you actually even know, right, from every team?
The only reason why anybody is just Masai because of Toronto. That's it.
Masai.
Well, and Jerry West.
And Jerry, yeah.
Jeannie Buss.
I know him as a logo first.
Yeah.
Jeannie Buss, right?
You only know about her because she dates everybody.
Yeah.
No, and because like the stuff with Magic and all that
I guess now
stuff over this last summer. But yeah, anyways, you don't know about anyone. But now Jerry Krause, I don't know what. Yeah, Pat Riley. But it's also because Pat Riley is like coach and player.
Icon.
Yeah. So like I don't know what Jerry Krause is thinking. Like he's trying to become this media star, and I just don't understand. I think
the little man syndrome.
Watching Space Jam, I think they got that guy to be Jerry Krause lookalike. Okay,
that is an amazing connection.
That's Newman, isn't it?
That is Newman from Seinfeld. Oh no, it's not.
No. Are you talking about Newman, or are you talking about the boss guy?
No, Newman.
The Monstars. Because that's what I'm thinking when I think of Jerry Krause.
Okay, that's also a good.
I think it's also a good one from the planet.
I think he looks like Newman. Like
he looks like Newman, but that also is good. I don't know which one now. Maybe it's a mix of both, right? So really, we have to thank Jerry Krause for Space Jam. Okay.
Thank you, Jerry Krause.
Thanks, Craig. That was the best part, I think, when the documentary started with Craig Sager asking Jerry Krause about what's going on with all this backstabbing and stuff going on, and
these pieces up. Oh, there is one thing I wanted to bring up, which I forgot to put on the docket. One more thing.
Oh, come on.
Just one more.
One more thing.
At the very end of the episode 8, do you guys remember what Reggie Miller said?
No. Yeah, he wanted to retire Michael Jordan.
Reggie Miller thought he was going to retire Michael Jordan. That is the most absolute ridiculous thing I've heard in my entire life, and I cannot wait to see what happens in the next time.
Reggie Miller is one of the most arrogant players I've ever like. I've seen documentaries about him, like the battle between him and Spike Lee and stuff, and like
he's not even the best basketball player in his family. Cheryl's better.
Cheryl's better.
But okay, you have to give those. I'm not saying Reggie Miller personally, but those Pacers teams,
they were good
in the first three-peat and the second three-peat. Took Jordan to 7 games. No, right? Mark Jackson was all about that, right?
Well, another thing we brought up off air was how good the Orlando Magic would have been if Shaq and Penny stayed there and healthy.
For sure.
Samara and Jane is an Australian-based accessories retailer with all of the latest fashion trends from around the world. Ladies, update your style game with gorgeous earrings, necklaces, and other jewelry for affordable prices. And guys, you can shop for that special lady in your life too. Use discount code SPORTSREV30 for 30% off your entire order. That's SPORTSREV30 for 30% off your entire order. Use discount code at checkout at samaraandjane.com.
Let's wrap it up, guys. Everyone, what I need you to do is go check out our new sportsreverends.com website, the sportsreverends.com. It's brand new. It dropped just now. So check that out. Also check out obviously all of our social medias, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Like, share, download. If you're going to watch or listen to a podcast, please download it because it's better for us. So do that if you want to. Don't feel like you have to, but go ahead. And guys, we're going to be back. I'm assuming we're going to do another podcast this week too. So I'm throwing that out there, putting the pressure on for these boys. And feel free to shoot any questions, thoughts, or topics you want us to talk about. Sports related, please. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll get it going. All right. Drew, what kind of sweater are you wearing there?
Packers.
Make me sick. All right. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.